Hey girlies, it's Tammy. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I wanted to play with the Juvia's Place Wahala 2 palette again. Loads of you said you bought this after seeing my first initial review of it. So I thought let's do some more looks because there's like so many shades in here and there's too much to only do one look. I wanted to do another one. I'm going to do two different eyes so that we can play with even more shades. I really want to play with this multi-chrome up here. It looks pink, but as you turn it, it looks green. So yeah, we're going to use that today. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna make it a full face tutorial. I've been loving doing that recently because then I get to like rotate my products and show you guys what I'm using, all of that good stuff. And the videos tend to be longer, which you guys say you love. So I'm gonna start off with this primer that I've only used like once, so I kind of want to use it again to get my thoughts on it. This is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Instant Retouch Primer. I feel like they have a matte one that would probably work better for my skin type, but we're still gonna use this one today. I think it's obviously not mattifying, that's why they have the matte one as an option, but this one hopefully is pore blurring. So far it feels like really moisturizing, like a lightweight moisturizer. And then today I've pulled out my Beauty Blender Bounce foundation, which I haven't used in ages, but I remember loving this foundation. This is the shade 410. This is like the perfect match for my skin. Look at that, it looks like I'm applying my skin. It's not too warm, it's not too pink, it's just so nice. I love when a foundation matches me like this. It just makes my life so much easier. And this foundation actually has banging coverage, like really full coverage. I'm sure you guys saw how it covered, but it's still very lightweight. But it's not a matte foundation, it's more of like a natural finish, I would say, a satin type of foundation. It's not matte, but it's not super oily and dewy. I'm actually remembering how much I used to love this foundation. This would be the foundation that I would wear to go out to events because it looks really good in person. It photographs beautifully. It is a gorgeous foundation. So next I'm going to move on to my eyes. I'm going to start by priming, of course. So I think on this side, I'm going to start with the neutral and the pink colors because I really want to play with that multi-chrome in the palette. I'm actually going to compare it to the Pat McGrath multi-chrome, the Sextraterrestrial, I think she called it, because it is that same type of pink green shift. Yeah, they're exactly the same. So this one is Pat McGrath and this one is Juvia's Place. They are literally the same color. I don't know why Juvia's Place looks a little bit more foiled and intense. Okay, so this one is the Pat McGrath and this one is the Juvia's. So the Juvia's looks a little bit more purpley in tone, but I hope you guys can see that green shift that they have. I'm going to start with the shade ASAP, which is this dark brown in the palette, this dark matte, and I'm going to start this into the crease and the outer V. And I think I'm going to blend this shade out with a pink, so I'm going to keep it pretty low, going on nicely. It almost looks like a black. Just dabbing over the edges to kind of make them softer, so hopefully it blends into the pink easily. So now I'm going to dip into the shade Too Much, which is the bright matte pink, and I'm just going to use that on the edge of the brown to blend it out. Yeah, that has blended out nicely. I'm gonna go back to the dark brown again and of course build that up in the crease, bring back the darkness and blend it into the pink. L'Oreal sent over this big Christmas cracker and I thought, oh, that would look nice in the background. Okay, and one last time with a little dab of the pink right on the edges to blend that out again. Just going back and forth between the two shades until I'm happy with the blend. Okay, so now I'm going to take that multi-chrome shade, but first I'm going to prime with the NYX Glitter Glue and just tap that all over the eyelid. The multi-chrome is called Fake, by the way, so I'm going to take that all over the lid. It will just look pink to you guys, but in natural light I find that that's when you get the strongest shift with multi-chromes. Like when you face away from direct sunlight it looks green, but then when you face directly in the light it looks pink. It's really hard to pick up the shift in multi-chromes on camera, but in real life the effect is beautiful, gorgeous. Hope you guys can see that shift. You see how it's gone like green there, green there. It's so hard to show on camera, but it's definitely a shifty color. Gonna take a small dab of ASAP again, that dark brown. Just gonna diffuse the edges of the shimmer. Just gonna clean up the edge of my eyeshadow. And then on the inner corner, I feel like you only really have these silvers as an option. So I'm gonna go into this one. It has like a gold reflect. The others are like straight silver gray, whereas this one is like a white gold. So I'm gonna take that. Ooh, pigment. Beautiful. This actually looks so similar to my Pat McGrath look and also the look that I did with my own palette. It's so funny. I tried to go for a neutral pink look, but this looks purple. Now we're gonna move on to the green eye. So I really want to play with this green blue glitter called Goals, this one here. So I'm thinking to do a green smoky eye with goals tapped all over. So first I'm going to go into MAKEUPBYTAMMI, which I think is a dark green blue. It's so dark it might actually come off as a black, but I'm going to try this shade all over the lid. Oh yeah, it is like a really dark forest green. Perfect base for the glitter that I'm going to put on top of it. But I'm just going to tap this all over the lid. I think I'm going to go in with the shade Lust. I wanted to go in with Jealous, but I used that in my first video and I want to use shades that I didn't use in my first video. So we're going to try a little bit of Lust, but if it's not bright enough, I will have to use something else to diffuse right up by the brow bone. So I'm going to start blending this through the crease. Yeah, I don't think this is kind of bright enough. Or maybe if I diffuse it, do you know what I could do? Just use a normal translucent powder up by the brow bone to help this shade blend in. So I'm going to take a small dab of my Beauty Bakery Flower Powder in the shade Yellow, but it's like a translucent powder. I'm just going to take a little bit of this and dust it up by the brow bone. It's just going to give that green something to blend into. You see how it's giving a nice diffusion to the edge of that shade. So now going back into Lust and just intensifying that crease. Light pressure, back and forth motions, and it will blend into that translucent powder we just put down. And now back into that dark MAKEUPBYTAMMI shade. I don't know what that means. I hope I'm saying it right. And I'm just going to tap that all over the lid again and blend it gently into the crease. Because I have hooded eyes, when I look up, you can't really see the darkness of that shade. So I'm just carrying it a little bit higher. Okay, so I think we're ready to go in with that glitter Goals, which is, it's a more of a chunky glitter. If you guys can see, it's got like bigger particles. And I'm just going to tap this all over the lid. Not too much because I don't want it too opaque. You know, I loved my soft diffused glitters. So it has a really nice soft sparkle. And now on the inner corner of this side, I'm going to go into the shade Ambitious, which is just like a straight silver grey. So I think you can definitely tell that this one has more of a golden tone compared to the straight up silver. Okay, so that is the eye looks for now. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the face, and then I'll do the lower lash line after. So for concealer, I've got my Beauty Blender concealer, which I haven't used in a while as well. This is the Bounce Concealer in the shade 4.10. The formula of this concealer is really kind of like thick. It is the whipped, it's called the whipped foundation, whipped concealer, and it definitely has that whipped consistency. Almost like a mousse consistency. Even though it's the same shade as the foundation, it does look slightly brighter. And I'm gonna go ahead and blend that in. Blends out nicely. Good coverage. Haven't used this in so long, I forgot what it's like. That's a really nice concealer actually. I don't think it has holy grail status in my collection, but it's definitely one of those concealers that I don't mind using. So I'm gonna go in with my Huda Beauty Flower Powder, God. Beauty Bakery Flower Powder in the shade Yellow. This is another powder that I absolutely love, but don't talk about a lot. Just gonna go ahead and set underneath my eyes. It's a really nice powder, but for some reason I just don't use it a lot. So it hasn't made like holy grail status in my collection either. Probably because I need to use it a bit more to make sure that it's like 10/10, you know. But you know what? So far so good, you know. It's blurring, it's mattifying, it's smoothing, it's doing everything that I love. I also want to go in with a little bit of Huda Beauty Tan Tour just because I feel like I'm looking very flat. I want to bring some like definition to my face. And this is the shade Medium. Probably should have done this before I powdered, but the good thing is with this tan tour, it blends into the skin so effortless. It's not a product that you can't use once you've powdered. It melts into the skin either way. You know, some cream products, once you've powdered, you just can't use it. Well, this is not like that. I'm sure you guys can see it still has melted and blended into the skin beautifully. So now I'm gonna go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder and set the outside of my face. And then for bronzer today, I've actually pulled out the Revolution Pro Sculpting Bronzer, which I haven't used in ages. This is the shade In Robe, which looks a little dark compared to what I go for. But from what I remember, this blends in so effortless, so it doesn't matter. It's not a super pigmented powder. I can just use a light hand and it will give me the nice bronze that I want. This is actually such a good bronzer. It's not powdery and it has this really nice creamy effect, but it's not creamy. It's like a creamy powder. It's so weird. I love it though. Very unique formula. It almost reminds me of the Nabla bronzers in terms of not having any fallout or any powderiness, but this is more pigmented than the Nabla bronzers. The Nabla one I was like, and I wasn't getting anything on my brush, but this one you can gently dust in there and get enough product. I really like that bronzer. It melts into the skin really nicely. And then for blush today, I'm going to use this one from Bare Minerals. It's called Peachy Keen. It's like an orangey peach. I'm going to lightly dust that onto my cheeks. It's really soft, but you definitely get the effect that you want. And then for highlighter today, I've pulled out my new go-to. This is the MAC 2020 Holiday in Flare for the Dramatic. This color is so beautiful and I've been using it a lot. It's such a gorgeous highlighter. The formula is subtle, it's glowy, it's beautiful. I've really been getting into highlighters like major lately, but as the right type of highlighters, you know what I mean? I want them to have a really soft, subtle glow, no like crazy texturizing highlight. But this one is stunning. So you're probably not going to be able to see this, but I wanted to try out this mascara that I got sent recently. It's by L'Oreal and it says the mascara that went viral on TikTok, and they've sent it over, so I thought I would try it. Ooh, the brush reminds me of Benefit Bad Girl Bang, which is my favorite mascara. It's really thin. So let's go ahead and try this. You're probably not going to be able to see the results because of my eyeshadow, but hopefully it's nice and wet, so it's applying loads of product, but it's definitely very separating because of the spikes in the wand. Oh, this is nice. I'm getting the lashes right from the root. No guys, this is amazing. Because of the size, like the skinny brush, you can get right to the root of your lashes and just comb them all the way up. And it's not clumpy, it's so separating but lengthening. You probably won't be able to tell. Can you guys see? I've got a little bit of mascara on top of my eyelid, but I'll take that away after. But this is 100% reminding me of Benefit Bad Girl Bang, which I've recently fallen in love with. It's so lengthening. This is the type of mascara that I would easily wear and not feel like I need falsies. Okay, let's go ahead and do the lower lash line. Of course, I'm gonna be using colored pencils. I'm gonna use pink on this side, and because I wanted this to be a green rather than a blue, I'm gonna try put this in the waterline so it hopefully pulls more green. This is the Makeup Obsession X Tiffany pencil, and I'm just gonna run that in my waterline and along my lower lash line, because I actually wanted this to be pink and green, but somehow it's turned out purple and blue. I don't know what happened. So I'm gonna take the pink on the first half and then the dark brown on the outer edge. And then taking the Barry M High Vis liner. These are like on sale the last time I checked for like £2.60 on, what was it, Feel Unique, Look Fantastic, ASOS, one of those websites. It's really cheap, really good. And they do like green, purple, pink, really good bright colourful shades. I wish this palette had a green that exactly matches this type of colour, that bright, vibrant green, but I'm gonna have to go in with Lust, this green here, and buff that underneath and do mascara. Oh, I'm having such bad cramps today. After I film this, I'm gonna go lie in my bed with some chocolate. So I'm gonna go ahead and quickly put on my lashes. I'm gonna use the Doll Beauty Samantha lashes. I'm gonna pop them on and I'll come right back to you. Okay, so lashes are on. Let's go ahead and finish off with lips. I've got the Morphe lip liner, and I also pulled out this liquid lipstick from Stila, which is called Fear. I don't know if it's gonna go, but we're gonna try it anyway. It is such a beautiful peachy nude anyway. That nude is delicious. And the Stila liquid lipstick formula is one of my favorites. So comfortable, so lightweight, and that color. Are you guys seeing this nude? Wow. So yeah guys, here are two more looks using the Juvia's Place palette. We have the pinky purple side, and then we have the teal blue meant to be green side. What side is your favorite? Definitely let me know down below. I really had fun playing with this. I love being able to play with a palette more than once. It makes me so happy. And of course, highly recommend grabbing this palette if you haven't already. I think it is a little bit expensive for Juvia's Place. It's like $38, but they always have discount codes and sales on their website, so you can snag it for a bit cheaper. But the formula, Juvia's Place has not come to play as usual. They have definitely gone in with the formula, especially with the multi-chrome shadow, and the actual mattes in here blend beautifully. The shimmer formula is out of this world. On top of having a multi-chrome, they do have some duochromes in here. Like this one is a blue purple, and this one is like a blue purple as well, but more of a cooler tone. There's just some really interesting formulas in this palette that I'm really enjoying. So yeah, that is my thoughts on the palette, guys. If you didn't know already, I love it and I definitely recommend checking it out. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel, and and I'll catch you guys in my next one. Take care. Bye.